Lately, I've been thinking about how strong my faith is. I never feel like it's enough. If I'm like up here in my faith, I always think that I can go a step higher. If I'm not praying enough one day, I always think that I can pray enough the next day. It's never enough, at least on my standards. So growing up, going to church at least twice a week, Sunday and Wednesday, was normalized within our family. It was normalized to pray when you wake up. It was normalized to pray before you eat. It was normalized to pray before you sleep. It was around my high school years, junior through senior year specifically, is when I really started to question my faith. Oh, why do we pray every day? Why do we go to church twice a week? And really to have those existential questions. And, growing up in a Christian household, you would think that I would never, ever question my faith. There's nothing wrong with asking questions about your faith. It's always going to come back to that one underlying answer. That one thing is God. I remember being on my rooftop, just sitting down on my rooftop and looking up at the stars and just really looking at the bigger picture and see how small we are as individuals in this world. And I just came to a conclusion that this all had to come from somewhere. Something, somehow, somewhere had to manifest what we are as human beings today and manifest everything on this earth. I started to focus on my inner self a lot more. I started to focus on my ego, which I'm still trying to control and tame to this very day. But at the same time, it's very eye-opening to know that everything that is physical, everything that is going on around us, it's not what makes us who we are as people. If I look at my faith right now, it's at its highest it's ever been, but I still feel like I'm not there yet. I still feel like I can go even higher and even closer to God. This quarantine, when quarantine started, I made a video and I posted it on YouTube. After I released that video, the question came up to me I know what I love doing. What I love doing is doing cinematography, videography, and filmmaking. The question was, why do I do it? Why do I do what I love doing? And this quarantine has really given me the ability to answer that question. Throughout time, I knew that all I wanted to do was spread love. Now, what is love? I truly believe that God is love. And being that, doing what I love allows me to spread God's love, essentially. And it's basically letting God speak through me. I really wanted to dig into the Bible. Throughout quarantine, I got a Bible. It's this, wipe it off. It's this New English, excuse me. It's the New International Version. And what I did was, this used to be filled with a whole bunch of bookmarks, but I removed all the bookmarks because the bookmarks really only indicated my favorite verses, which pertain to situations in my life. But I removed all of them because I wanted to start from the beginning. I really wanted to dig into the Bible and read it for myself. And disclaimer, I'm not a minister, I'm not a priest, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a Bible scholar. So how I interpret the Bible is based off the teachings that have been already bestowed onto me within worship service. So I just started the Bible, I think, last month, about 3 weeks ago. First of all, I only read a chapter a day, just to, step by step, little steps by steps. And, you're going to get a lot of wisdom. You're going to get a lot of knowledge in the Bible. And when I mean knowledge, I mean, for example, everything that's going on in the world, all the pain, trials, tribulations, hardships, problems, calamities. I just said like 6 synonyms to the word problem. But anyways, all the problems that you go throughout the world is nothing new to Christians, because as Christians we know that problems are going to rise in the world. You're going to face trials and tribulations and temptations that the world has to offer. So everything that is going on in the world today, with this coronavirus, Philippines just had a volcanic eruption in Tagaytay. It was Tal volcano, and that was last January. It's even crazier because there's a verse in the Bible where there's something about locusts raiding like farm fields, and that literally just happened in like Africa. It's not really a surprise to us Christians, mainly due to the fact that we know that the world is getting worse and worse each day. Yeah, in the Bible, you're not just gonna get very positive, lighthearted stories. You're gonna get a lot of harsh, realistic events that reflect in our world today. Everything that goes bad in the world, we might not have full control of it, but we definitely do have control of how we handle the situations. The fact that we have a choice to serve His name, the fact that we have a choice to do right and wrong, bad and evil, good and evil, is a blessing from Him. I've definitely had times when I would question my faith, which again is not wrong, because it's going to lead you to the answer, which is God. But at the same time, I've definitely had times when I felt very far from God. Having faith is a slippery slope. Just the fact that you have faith and you believe in God, there's going to be times when your faith is going to be very low. But let's say you don't believe in God. You wouldn't have doubts at all. So that means you want to be up here with your faith. So just the fact that you do have faith and you're allowed, you have the capability of growing it every single day, you're going to have times when you feel really low. Trust me. You're going to have times when you feel very far from Him. But I guarantee you, He's always going to be there for you. Even during times when you don't even want to pray. I've had times when I don't even want to go to worship service. I've had times when I don't even want to pray. But it's within those times you do have to pray. It's within those times when He wants you to go to worship service. There are a lot of religious people who will smack you in the face with what they believe in.
No matter what you say, they bring up religion. Hey, good morning now. It is a good morning because Jesus woke us up. Hello. Boom.
A lot of people will draw away from that. And no one wants to be smacked in the face with what they believe in, especially when it comes to religion. I don't like telling people, oh, your religion is wrong. My religion is right. I don't like telling people that at all. No one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear that. And that's not the approach I'm taking. And in today's world, you really have to have a lot of empathy for people who aren't religious, people who aren't spiritual. I guess I can go back to my high school days. I never really felt like I could really talk about God or church or any type of spirituality with my friends. Even my closest friends, my closest homies. I never felt like I could get on that deep of a level with them. Or they've told me, it's not that I only feel like, they've told me like, I don't want to talk about that stuff. I don't want to talk about God. I don't want to talk, that stuff is weird. And I understand them. I understand where they're coming from. I understand that they don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. It's either one, it's not publicized and it's not glamorized in today's culture, especially nowadays in my generation, which is Generation Z. I feel like there's steps. I feel like first you really have to you really have to approach the soul. Let's say I have homies and I have friends who really don't believe in God, and I respect that. I respect what they believe in. But I can definitely feel their spiritual relationship that I have with them. I can feel their energy. I can feel their demeanor. I can feel their aura. And I feel like that's the first step towards your emotions. I feel like that attacks the soul. Not attacks. That's contradicting myself. You can either really slip it in and talk about God with them. That is when their relationship with God starts. That's when their relationship with God begins. Sharing your faith towards others. is very delicate. You really have to take the first step towards opening yourself up to people on an emotional level. Because if you don't open yourself to other people on an emotional level first, that always has to come first. Then the other steps of even leading towards them to God, it's not going to play out. It doesn't work like that. At least that's how I see it. At least what I've experienced. Christian stereotypes. Let's talk about that. Oh, there's so many negative connotations on Christians today. I feel like a lot of people who don't really get it think that not just Christianity, but religion in general, or spirituality in general, is corny or cheesy. And I get it from their view, because there are a lot of like songs or anything within religious culture can be corny. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, Scotty. Jesus, man.
You go on TikTok right now, you type in hashtag Christian, hashtag Christianity. You can find a bunch of TikToks with a community of people who have that relationship with God or any type of spirituality. So I feel like my Generation Z, is becoming a lot more open, a lot more open-minded, a lot more closer to spreading that type of view to the public. And it's all steps, bro. It really is. It's all steps towards that one source, which is God. I'm never gonna judge what type of religion you are. I'm never gonna do that. How you exercise your faith is on you, is your choice. I guess the only question that you should really ask yourself is this the best way I can exercise my faith and my relationship and getting closer with God the best way possible? Stick with what you believe in. Stick to your heart. Stick with your soul and stick with your spirit. Never let someone try to disrupt your belief. You have people who are actively trying to get to that level. They know that they might be completely aware that God provides a guidance, but when they hear it, they might be instantly turned off, because they want to know, how can I get to that level? How can I get to the point you're at? And I can see that your relationship with God is up here, but I'm trying to get to that level. Don't tell me about how God is. I want to know how I can strengthen my faith. I want to know how I can strengthen my relationship with God. Don't tell me about all the blessings and all the stuff that He's already granted you. Teach me how to get to that point. So that's the approach I'm taking with the content I'm releasing. I find it very interesting how a lot of successful people, a lot of entrepreneurs are talking about the law of attraction. You know, basically the law of attraction is another word for karma. Basically, karma is whatever you push out, what type of energy you push out, it's going to come back to you. If you push out negative energy, it's always going to come back to you. I guarantee you that. But it might not be now. It might not be in a day. It might not be in a week. It might be later in the future, which causes absolutely detrimental effects to how bright your future is. Why are people talking about the law of attraction like it's a new thing? In the Bible, it says reap what you sow. Whatever negative energy you give out, it's going to come back to you. And that's how life works. And moving on to positive energy and radiating positive energy from yourself. The thing is, with positive energy, it comes later than usual. If you do a good deed and you're the absolutely most positive person in the whole entire world, it might not come back to you. If you want to be positive, you can't expect any reward in return. You know, you can't expect that positivity to come back right away. But I guarantee you, like with negative energy, it's going to come back to you no matter what. God gave you literally the physical power, mental power to do what you need to achieve. It's not like, first of all, you have to work for your blessings. You really have to work for your blessings. You can't be lazy and wait around for Him. I feel like the stigma of, I'm going to pray for this, then it will come from me. No, you have to work for your blessings. You have to work for the reward that God has set for you. Because if you don't, no blessings will be granted